What's going on, everybody? This is Dave and welcome back to Wolves Weekly. We are now into November, the 1st of November, and another instalment of Wolves Weekly today. If you've never seen this series before, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Every week we bring you Wolves updates, my opinion, the fans' opinion, and always questions of the day. We always like to get you guys involved. And today, and this week as a whole, was actually quite busy. Every week I go to make notes of things. I think, is there going to be much to talk about? But today's probably one of the busiest so far in the series. So we're going to kick straight off with Wolves doing a incentive for the Fulham game for any emergency service, armed forces personnel to mark Remembrance Day. They're going to be able to get discounted tickets for the game against Fulham, which is a really nice touch from Wolves. Obviously, for Remembrance Day, a nice little incentive for all of those who are part of the organisations that would have helped so much there. So expect again, it would have been a big allocation already, but expect another couple of hundred tickets on top of that normal allocation. A little bit of contract news as well is that promising youngsters Donovan Wilson and Christian Herc have both signed new deals at Wolves. They're both in the under-23s at the moment, but doing quite well. They've both signed new deals to keep them till 2020. Donovan Wilson has already had spells for the first team as well, so even scoring for the first team against Southampton in the Carabao Cup. He's had a couple of cameo appearances as well. We'll get to see Christian Herc in the first team, I believe, but I'm sure very soon we'll see him. He's a very promising sort of attacking midfielder. Massive news as well last weekend, despite Wolves losing to QPR, which we'll come on to later on. Morgan Gibbs-White, obviously a young lad who appeared quite a number of times for us last year. He even made his debut against Stoke in the FA Cup. Went and won the Under-17s World Cup with England, which is a massive achievement for anyone at any level. And fortunately, Morgan was in the squad for this one. I believe they were 2-1 down at half-time. They turned it around 1-5-2 with Morgan even scoring in the final. He scored another goal as well during the tournament. But it is a massive, massive achievement for someone who was from sort of coming into football to a professional club. He's always been at Wolves, and hopefully he'll have some fantastic memories at Wolves as well. He's going to be one of those players that hopefully we can keep on the books. Obviously, we've got a massive amount of money now. We can more or less purchase who we want if we go up. But hopefully Morgan, sort of Conor Ronan and so on are some of those lads that stick around for a little bit longer. Wolves have also got first option on Ruben Vinagre. Apparently Wolves are also trying to purchase him in January and confirm the deal. That was confirmation by the Express and Star. He's had some good spells so far. It's more or less him and Barry Douglas fighting for that left wing back spot. You always do need cover there, but it's really good that we've got two strong options there. Ruben Vinagre, whenever playing, is doing well. He scored a goal versus Burton a few weeks ago, a really good goal at that. And, at such a young age, he's a really good prospect, so I'd try to pounce on that as soon as we can. Wolves also confirmed that they signed a player during the week. It was ex-Norwich striker Benny Ashley Seal. Apparently quite a powerful, quick striker. He had trials at Chelsea as well, but for some reason that didn't carry on. And he was previously at Arsenal in his younger days as well. So, I spoke to a couple of fans about him, and he does look a promising player. So it's another good, strong player to add to our under-23s academy. As well, the news came out today that Wolves and Preston have both been fined for failing to control their players after our game against Preston a couple of weeks ago, where we did go on to beat them 3-2. Wolves were fined £5,000 by the FA, and Preston were fined £10,000. But what about the referee? He was absolutely shocking on the day. Surely he should be docked some sort of a wage or demoted as a referee. Of course, FA always like to back their own sort of members of staff almost, but both clubs fined. I think Preston probably fined the bigger amount due to them having the red card as well, so that probably didn't help matters. But the referee on the day was absolutely shocking, and these referees, they're the ones that are failing to control the players, so definitely that should be looked at as well. And then news today is, well, it's a rumour as such. I'm not sure if there's any concrete proof in it, that Everton had Nuno Espirito Santo on their shortlist to become their new manager, and there was contact there. A few sources have said no, there's not been any contact, but I think it's Gilles Beleg, I hope that's how you pronounce it, from Sky Sports, had said that he's on the shortlist and there would have been contact. very, very difficult to see. You can sort of see it from both sides, whether Nuno would sort of go. Everton is a big club with a lot of money, but very, very much struggling at the moment. But at the same time, he'd go into it sort of unknown. He's had the whole pre-season to work with Wolves, sign players and so on, and that's definitely helped him. For him to go into a club, he may not excel as much as he has at Wolves if he walked into a club halfway through the season. So for the time being, as far as we know, Nuno is going to be staying, and that is fantastic news. So before we go on to talking about the 2 matches from the last week, we're going to be talking about our question of the day from last week as well. So I said if Wolves could play anyone at this certain time, who would it be and why? We had quite a good amount of responses again. A lot of you, unsurprisingly, saying West Brom. Billy Dobson said he'd love to play West Brom at the Hawthorns, allowing us to have more allocation if it was an FA Cup game as well, because obviously you get a bigger allocation in the FA Cup. Gary also said it would be to play West Bromwich Albion, as they play boring flat football and we're full of panache and flair. Adam also said West Brom. Not very imaginative, but it's been ages since we played them. Hopefully we'll be playing them in the Premier League next year. Jerry had an interesting one as well. He said Wolves versus Wolfsburg, the battle of the Wolves. Mark as well had a really good one. He'd love to play against Mick McCarthy's team of 2008-2009, which twice went on 7-match winning runs. That was obviously the team. I believe they got promoted to the Premier League as well. Len has also said, I wouldn't just want to pick one team. I'd like to do a West Midlands Mini League. So Villa versus Birmingham versus Wolves versus Baggies and Walsall. So thanks a lot for the responses for that one, guys. And obviously, for the next question of the day will be very, very shortly. Before we move on, though, obviously you would have noticed this shirt. It is the Cure Leukemia shirt, where Cure Leukemia in August, obviously after Carl Leukemia was diagnosed, they did a donation sort of thing. So if you donated £20, once it hit 1,000 people, so £20,000, they would get everyone's names on this shirt and send it out. And I got mine yesterday, hence me wearing it now. Unfortunately, I'd show you my name, but it's right on the back, here, down here somewhere. But there are pictures on my Twitter and stuff. If you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen it. But it's a really nice shirt, you know, probably... I know I expect to see a few people actually wearing them to the matches, because, you know, there's 1,000 people on there. You might see 1 or 2 dotted around, but it is a really nice shirt. It's very good quality as well, so I'm happy with that. And fair play to anyone else donated any sort of amount or contributed to the Cure Leukemia Fund as well. So now we move on to the games against QPR and Norwich. And obviously on Saturday, unfortunately I didn't go to either of these games, but on Saturday Wolves lost out to QPR. And it was a 2-1 loss. It was, again, a very difficult game. I think it's teams that press high and getting Wolves' faces, we haven't tended to do as well against. And we just didn't perform, I think, on Saturday at QPR at Loftus Road. Ian Holloway's men got the better of us in the end, winning the game 2-1. Wolves went 1-0 down, got back in the game. It was another goal for Leo Bonatini, who's actually scored now 5 games in a row for the first time since 2004, I believe, which was Henri Camara, with him scoring as well at Norwich yesterday. But the QPR game, getting back in it, and then sort of for the last 15 minutes, they bring on the big man, Matt Smith, who goes and pops in a goal and gives QPR a massive 3 points. They also beat Sheffield United yesterday, so they're beating the top 2. So 6 big points to them, and it shows how quick the league changes. They're just 2 points off the playoffs now, whereas, you know, they were sort of milling towards the bottom of the table earlier on last week. We then obviously, you know, moods down a little bit, but Wolves fans, it was good to see still quite a lot of positivity despite our loss there. And we came onto the game against Norwich. We went and beat them quite comfortably, 2-0. Leo Bonatini scoring a goal, along with Willy Bolly on his return, which is fantastic for us. Scoring off a set piece as well. The set pieces look different. We caused, you know, problems from them, which is good. Playing it short, you know, we've seen it in the last few weeks, but hasn't really progressed too much. But we did get the goal. Willy Bolly, massive threat, big header into the far post, and we got the lead there. And Bonatini with a lovely volley to round off the game. We ended up beating Norwich 2-0. We're back to top of the league, obviously with Sheffield United losing, which is fantastic for us at the moment. Moving on to a big game against Fulham on Friday, which obviously there will be a vlog for as well. But we have got Jack again reviewing the game, so hopefully you guys enjoy his little review. And obviously make sure you go and check out his channel. A link to that will be in the description or at the end of the video.
We wasn't at our best at all. We could see that they just wanted it more, QPR did. The first goal, it was quite sloppy in a way. We then equalised fast though with an unreal counter-attack from Diogo, beating a few men, taking it all the way to the byline to put it in field to Bonatini to volley it home into the back of the net to send us 1-1 into the break. But we then missed some proper good chances in the second half. Diogo on multiple occasions, if I remember right, and Bonatini also missing an open goal. It was predictable how the QPR would get their winner, bringing on Matt Smith, a tall target man. And it was crossed to him, Miranda lost him, and he just headed it home to get the winner for them. We knew that we would have to bounce back at Norwich, and that is what we did. Winning 2-0 against one of the best teams in the Championship and doing it with ease. I think we only allowed Norwich to create one clear chance, which early on they hit the post, and then it was all us from then. We could have easily have scored 4 or 5. Scoring obviously starting off from a set piece, Douglas whipping it in and Bolly heading it home to put us 1-0 up at half time. But then we got the second with a great volley from Bonatini. That's 9 goals and 4 assists so far this season, the league's most. And yeah, it was just a solid win to put us back top of the table.
So guys, there we have it, and our question of the week with Morgie Gibbs White winning the World Cup. Which one player from the current first team squad would you like to see a World Cup, and why? You know, the World Cup is next year, or the end of the season rather. May well be a couple of players, especially if we get promoted in the teams. Is Bonatini, has he got the right to be in the Brazil squad? Who knows? But if there was any of those players that you would like to see win a World Cup, who would it be and why? But until next time, guys, make sure you smash the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for all the support recently. And until next time, guys, I'm sure I'll see you all very, very soon.